Welcome back to the second video of learning SwiftUI with me, Jim Lit. And hopefully you had some basic understanding of Xcode and how to set up the project from my last video. And if not, please go check out the video on the top right corner or the link down below. So if you have any questions along the way as well, make sure to comment down below or follow me on Twitter and ask me there. So just a quick update that I will upload the learning video every Wednesday at 9 p.m. US Eastern Standard Time. And I will definitely post that on my channel so you can actually see it. And make sure so that you don't miss out any future videos. So we're going to continue the learning, and the topic today are lists and the navigation. And the navigation is basically a way to actually help the user navigate between the views. So you can go to another page and come back. List is similar to table view from UI kit. If you are familiar with that, if not, it's totally okay because you don't need to use that in SwiftUI development. So before we continue, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos, and hit the like button so more people can watch and learn how to code in SwiftUI. So as you can see here, that is the project from the previous video there, that we successfully set up the project, and we made a smaller adjustment, changed from hello world to hello whatever your name is. In my case is Jim Lit. Let's actually remove this so we can have a fresh start there. You might see some error happening on the canvas, but it's okay because it actually don't have anything to show on the view. That's why the compiler, which has come with Xcode, was confused. It does not understand how to actually process and load the view on the screen. So that is okay. It will go away whenever you start typing. So we're going to use this thing called list. And what list does, it just create a page that's a scrollable. You can scroll up and down and show a bunch different information at one time. It's kind of like your so-called to-do list or a grocery shopping list. You know, you write your things from the top down. Eventually, you're going to be writing a lot of information that you're going to go off the screen. So it'll be something like this. Like, let's pretend this is like a shopping list, right? So you might want to say tomato, and you might want to buy something, maybe maybe bacon, and then maybe you want some fruit, so you're gonna get apple. Maybe some more stuff, you know, maybe just you accidentally write a number onto it. So that will be the table view. They're showing your a list of informations there. You can see actually you can actually scroll this up down, but since we do not have information to fill up the entire screen yet, so you cannot really scrolling this down or up, but it will scroll if you drag them on the screen. Currently we do not go anywhere. If you try to tap them, they are not really tappable because we have not set that up yet. But this is the basic list view here. The list view though also have a few different styles as well. You can actually try to edit the style a little bit. I believe it's called like a list style something. A list style, yes. By default, it's actually using automatic list style, but there's also like a different style as well. You can try out, give it a shot. This is a group style. As you can see, inside the content actually expand to entire screen. Then you can also try the inside. That actually removes the actual background. You have a really just a blank white color background with everything. You don't have any different colors there. You can also try inset group. Inset group is almost similar to the, I think the inset group is actually the default, or it's almost similar to the group. And you also have a plain. That just is really simple list. And you can also try a sidebar. Sidebar is really comes in really handy whenever you are actually creating a sidebar. If you open up, for example, a application might have a menu on the corner or somewhere. When you tap it, it will open up like a drawer or a hamburger menu sort of content on the edge of the screen. You can actually add data like this, but our data normally don't come with a constant. So we do not have like sometimes maybe have 5 of data, maybe have 10, or maybe 20, or even 100. So we need to find a way to actually gather those data so the table view or this list view here can actually show data more dynamically. So in that way, let's assume that we have a piece of data here. Let's say food list. And we can give it a type of a string. And then we can say tomato. And we added bacon. We add apple. Banana. Maybe orange. Maybe some seafood, maybe shrimp. Maybe some candy. Maybe some water as well, just in case you are thirsty. We can continue this on adding more, just in case we're pretending if the data is come from a remote server that holds all the information that you need. So the data will be more dynamically. I can remove the number of the data on this here or increase them. Or we can add another tomato or something. Maybe add more apple actually, since we might need them. So we can have a apple, we can call this apple 1, this apple 2, and this apple 3. So then we can try to fill up our data on the screen. Then maybe another one, we can, maybe a couple more things as well. Maybe some notebook. Maybe we need a pen as well. Perhaps we need a, maybe so snacks. Some snacks. One more thing. Maybe a new iPhone. All right, so now we have all the things from the food list here. We need to try to present this on the list. So in order to add those data from the food list to the list, we can actually just add a parenthesis. And we're gonna just call the food list here. And we're gonna use ID. And I use I think it was a backward, I think it was a forward slash, unless I'm wrong, maybe that's a backward slash, and a .self. And then, so that will identify each item inside the array, because that's how a list, SwiftUI is a list, to identify the uniqueness of each cell. So whenever it's like reloading the views of each content on the screen, it will understand which one is what. So as you can see, we actually successfully show up all the information on the screen, and now you can actually scroll them. But there's a one slight issue there. We are currently just continuously printing out the tomato, bacon, and apple 12. So we need to actually remove all those and replace this one with food. So now we will have tomato bacon, apple one, banana orange shrimp, candy water, apple two, apple three, notebook, pen, snacks, and iPhone. So just in case, if this data is actually come from a remote server or somewhere else, this data might change. If I actually buying some more stuff, maybe I'm adding an iPad on it. And this data will actually reflect the changes and directly show up on the screen and more dynamically as well. So this way, you do not need to continuously adding a list long, or maybe 100 lists long of this text inside this list in order to show all the informations. Now it's truly depending on the data to create the view you need at a time. All right, so I think currently it's looking good, but there's a few things there we can actually make some adjustment. As you can see, this does not quite look like an application yet. We do have a list of things that we can scrolling around and potentially adding some more stuff to it. But however, we are missing some like a title or a navigation that can potentially help us to, if we want to click on one of the tab or the cell. We normally call it cell, but that normally is a term from a UI kit. You can call whatever that is. You can call it a cell, or you can call this a little section here a view. But normally we call it cell because it's like a piece of cell inside this table of content, or a piece of view, a small view inside this content. So we can add a navigation, so it can eventually help us to transitioning from this list of a view to one single detail of a view. But before we do that, let's do some quickly adjustment for this list style. I think we're going to use the default one. And then we want to add a navigation on top of it. So in order to do that, you can just simply call navigation view. And you're just adding your list inside of it. And then in order to show up the proper navigation bar on top, you'll have to add in particular information to it. You'll have to give it a navigation title to it. Let's say maybe we call it a full list. By default, iOS in the SwiftUI will use a large title for your navigation title. But sometimes we do not want that because we might want to save the space on top. So you can actually scroll this up. It will become that small version of a navigation title on top. But if you let it go, if you scroll down, back down to the top, it will become the full list, the large list. So in order to change that, you can also just give a normal navigation bar title display mode. By default, as I said, by default it's using automatic, and that is a large title. So you can change to inline. That will actually change that, the top bar there to full list. And you can easily identify the navigation bar on top. Whenever you're scrolling this up, you can see the difference there. But because there's some new feature in iOS, so when you do not scrolling anymore, or when you first landing to this page, it actually hidden. So, but I think we want to use the large title instead. So we're going to remove that. Just use that default. So that's how you show the navigation view for your application. Once you do that, eventually though, we want to show the information of another page. So you will eventually need to rely on things like navigation link. This, as in the description, you can see a view that controls a navigation presentation. But I think we want to use this exactly version of it. This will actually create a navigation link that presents a destination view. So whenever you click on it, it will take you to whatever view you are destined to. So here you have first step towards the final product. You will actually see your app come to life after each video. So during the next video, I will show you VStack, HStack, and SF symbol so that you can really start to get the basic customization you need for the UI you want eventually. And also don't forget, um, if you have any questions, please comment down below so I can help you answer them. Or you can follow me on my Twitter account and ask me any question over there. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video.